As a builder, starting a forever world can be scary. Most people quit before they ever finish their first big project. So how do you start a world that lasts forever and finally build the world you always wanted? Well, believe it or not, it's actually a lot easier than you might think. So welcome to episode 1 of my survival building guide, and today I'm going to teach you how to start your forever world as a builder. So of course, like any other world, we're gonna start by getting all the basics out of the way. You want to get some wood, make some stone tools, and also get some food. I also pick up a bit of coal here because it was at the surface and we're gonna need it later. After that, I'm gonna go ahead and explore a little bit. I eventually found some pigs and decided to kill a couple of them to get a bit of food. Ideally, you want to do all of this before the night falls. That way you have time to go kill a couple sheep and make a bed so you can sleep your first night. But as you'll notice, I didn't make it that quick and night actually fell really fast. So because of that, I didn't want to be stuck in the jungle where there's a lot of mobs at night, so I made a boat and left there as fast as possible. The two safest places to be at night are either in a cave or in a hole or on water, so that's why I decided to boat my way to another island. Now when I got to the island, this looks like there could be some sheep on here, so I decided to get out of my boat and start exploring in the dark. I struggled for a while just running around trying to find some sheep, and I had no luck. I couldn't find anything, but eventually I did spot a couple sheep and decided to just make a run for it and try to make my bed as soon as possible. But I managed to kill all the sheep without getting hit by the zombies, but then I ran away as fast as possible, placed down my crafting table, and crafted a bed. At this point, I still had one zombie after me, so I killed him and called it a day. So now that it's bright and sunny out, there's no more mobs, so I decided to go exploring. There's a village really close by, so I decided to go explore that first. As you see here, I didn't get anything good out of it, but when I looked around and made my way back to where I slept the night before, I realized that this was actually a really nice spot, and I called it home. I really like the plains biome, and plus it's kind of nice to have a village nearby, that way we can trade with them eventually. When I figure out where I want to build, I place down my crafting table, I make a furnace, and put down all kinds of things I'm going to need to move on to the next step. This way we don't have to carry everything with us once we decide to go mining, and plus it's nice to have some cooked food instead of eating raw pork chops. So now there's two things we need. We need diamond tools and armor, as well as a sustainable source of food before we build our starter house. This is just kind of how I like to play Minecraft. You can play it any way you want, but I'll explain to you why this is useful at this stage of the game later. So now we're going mining. I found a little bit of iron and coal, but then realized that these caves were horrible, so I went back out, and then night fell pretty fast after that. So then I had to go back to my house or little base camp thing and go to bed. Then after that, I went out way further, found an azalea tree, which if you didn't know means that you can dig down this rooted dirt and actually make it to a big lush cave. So I did exactly that, and then I also found some iron on the way, fell down a huge hole which I almost died, and this is exactly what we're looking for here. We want a big open cave, and it's going to be a lot easier to find diamonds here than if you were to mine in a straight line. Again, this is just a personal preference, so don't worry. If you want to strip mine, go for it. Of course, you can't go mining without getting attacked by some zombies, so that's exactly what happened. I kind of started panicking here because I saw that my hearts were dropping really fast. I get down to 2 hearts there, or 1.5, and then there's one zombie left, and I panic a little bit. I try to place down deep slate, that doesn't really work, so then I decide to eat a pork chop, and it's kind of risky, but I do make it out alive eventually and kill this last zombie here. And this is where you can really see that I'm a builder, because I suck at every other aspect of Minecraft. Anyway, I used a bit of the iron from earlier to make a pickaxe as well as a helmet for a bit of protection. That way when we eventually find our first diamonds right here, I can actually mine them with my pickaxe. I also killed this zombie in full copper armor, which I've never seen and kind of forgot existed. And then from here it's diamond after diamond. I kept finding them back to back. I'm telling you, this is the best strategy to find diamonds in my opinion. But as you can see here, I'm getting a ton of diamonds, and this is all in basically 1 hour of mining. And I'll show you guys how much I ended up with, but it's actually pretty crazy. While this is going on though, I kind of want to talk about the plans for this world and the series in general. Basically, my goal is to show you guys building tricks and techniques that you can use while also making an entertaining let's play out of it, so it's kind of fun to watch but also educational and you guys can learn something out of it. But after that, I really just locked in and tried to get as many diamonds as possible as fast as possible, so I'll meet you guys at the surface. Well, I have no idea where we are, but what I do know is we ended up with a lot of diamonds, just over a stack as you can see there, but now I'm gonna make my way back home because we still need to craft those diamond tools and armor. And this is a really special point for me in the world because it marks a really good start, and this is basically the start of everything we're gonna build here together. And it's honestly just a really special moment that marks the start of this series. When I woke up that day, I kind of just stared at the sun. I felt really accomplished, but then I got back to work really fast getting some food because we're not done here. This is just the start. So here you can see I'm breaking my chest, and this is because I decided to move a little closer to the village. I just thought this would be a nicer scenery. I made a diamond hoe, which is kind of a flex, but we're gonna need this because I want to get working on some food, and we're gonna get our food in two different ways. I'm gonna plant a giant field here, and I'm gonna use that wheat to attract cows as well as sheep, and then we can get some more food from them. Honestly, usually I'll just get cows and leave the sheep aside because I don't really care for that, but today I'm gonna need the sheep because our starter house actually uses a lot of wool, and you'll see why later. But now here come the cows going down this hill, and I dragged them across this river, which was a pain. But now our food situation is fixed, so that's great. We have wheat, we have cows and sheep, and on top of all that, we have our diamond armor and tools, which means we can get to work on getting all our materials for the starter house. I absolutely hate how slow stone tools are, or even iron tools, so for me, getting diamond tools out of the way, that way I can get all my materials way faster, is just so much more worth it. So that's what I like to do, but as you can see, I'm getting all kinds of materials here. And while I'm doing that, I want to introduce you guys to my Discord. I'll have a link to join it in the description if you want, and I'm pretty active in there, so if you want to talk with me or anybody else in the community, we have a lot of great builders in there already. I post all kinds of things like my builds on there, as well as some spoilers for the upcoming videos. So if that interests you, then check it out, and I'll see you there. But with that said, all our materials are collected, so now it's time to finally build this starter house. Enjoy. I haven't made a house like this that I've been so proud of in a while, and it even looks good from every single angle, which was my goal, so that worked out great. I'm not really used to this style, so I'm happy that I made it work and it looks really good. But now let's tour the interior. I have a little kitchen here, as you can see. I have a little fireplace. It looks great. Then if we take the door straight through, you can see this is the backside, so we can go out on this little kind of chilling area, which is nice. You can kind of just chill there. And then coming back inside, we have a nice plant as well as some storage. Then if we go here, there's a bit more storage as well as a crafting table. This door also leads to the side of the house, so if we want to get in through there, we can as well. But now going upstairs, we have a nice bedroom with a kind of library book area, and I really like the view outside of here. I think it's going to be really nice once we have builds covering that entire area. And that's basically the entire house. I think the interior and the exterior looks amazing. The only issue I'm having right now is that when I go far away, these banners do disappear, so I had to add a little detail like these shelves here. But I did want to give a shout out to Sinnoh because I took that idea directly from him, so go check him out. Anyway, I'm not done here because my goal is to build one tree in every single episode I make. So as you can see, I'm gathering the oak logs, and now we're ready to build a custom tree right next to our house right here. On this build, I really wanted to focus on making it look good from every angle, so that's something I really put effort into on the tree. I'm not the best when it comes to making these trees. It takes a long time for me, so making one every episode is gonna force me to get good at them. But I think I achieved my goal here. It may be missing a couple leaves here and there, but from every angle, generally, it looks pretty good. I'm honestly really proud of this tree as well as the build, of course. Then there's just some general details around that I added to make it feel like it belongs in the area. You can see there's bamboo, birds, chimney smoke. Then if we come inside here, we can see there's a path. There's also a path leading around to the side of the house, and everything just kind of feels like it belongs together. This was an absolutely amazing start to the world, but now I have to move all of this junk into the house. So I'm gonna do that off camera because it's really boring and it takes a lot of time. But with that, have a great rest of your day, and thank you for watching.